Don't wake her, because if she wakes up, she'll ask for food again. The boy didn't move, not even when the cowboy stopped right in front of him. He just sat there, holding his little sister close. "Kid," the cowboy said softly, "you all right?" The boy shook his head quickly, but not because he was scared, because he was protecting her. "Please," he whispered. The cowboy leaned closer. "Please what?" The boy looked up, eyes red, voice trembling. "Don't wake her." The cowboy frowned. "Why not?" A pause. The boy swallowed hard. "Because if she wakes up," his voice broke, "she'll ask for food again." Silence. The wind stopped. The cowboy's expression changed. "When did she last eat?" he asked quietly. The boy looked down at her, holding her tighter. 2 days ago." The cowboy froze. And in that moment, everything changed. The cowboy didn't speak for a moment, just stared at the girl, sleeping in the boy's arms. "Too still, too quiet, 2 days," he repeated softly. The boy nodded. "She keeps asking for bread," he whispered. "So I tell her stories until she sleeps again." The cowboy's chest tightened. "Where are your parents?" Silence. The boy looked away. "Gone," he said. A pause. "Both of them." The cowboy knelt down slowly. "What's your name, son?" "Ion." "And your sister?" The boy looked down at her again. "Mira." The cowboy nodded. "Where are you staying?" Ion hesitated, then pointed toward the edge of town. "An old stable," he said. "No one goes there." The cowboy's jaw clenched. "You've been sleeping there without food?" Ion didn't answer. He just held his sister tighter. Like that was enough. The cowboy reached into his coat, pulled out a small piece of bread, held it out. Ion didn't take it. Instead, he whispered again, "Don't wake her." The cowboy froze. "She needs to eat," he said gently. Ion shook his head. "If she wakes up, she'll cry," he said. "And I don't want her to cry anymore." Silence. Heavy. The cowboy slowly lowered his hand. For the first time, he understood. This wasn't just hunger. This was survival. This was a child trying to be a parent. "Come with me," the cowboy said. Ion looked up quickly, fear in his eyes. "No," he said. The cowboy frowned. "Why not?" Ion's voice dropped. "Because they'll find us." The cowboy's expression hardened. "Who will?" Ion hesitated, then whispered, "The men who took everything." The wind picked up again, and suddenly, this wasn't just about hunger anymore. The cowboy's eyes narrowed. "Who are these men?" he asked. Ion didn't answer right away. He looked around first, like someone might be watching. "They came at night," he whispered. "Took our home, our food, everything." The cowboy's jaw tightened. "And your parents?" Ion's grip on Mira tightened. "They tried to stop them." A pause. "They didn't come back." Silence fell heavy between them. The cowboy looked at the girl again. Small, weak, hungry, then back at the boy, trying to be strong when he shouldn't have to be. "Why didn't you ask the town for help?" the cowboy asked. Ion gave a faint, broken smile. "We did." The cowboy frowned. "And no one wanted trouble," he said. "They said it's better to stay quiet." The cowboy stood up slowly. Something inside him shifted. Cold. Serious. "Show me that stable," he said. Ion hesitated. "They might be there," he warned. The cowboy's voice dropped. "Good." Ion looked at him, confused. "Why?" The cowboy's eyes turned hard. "Because I've been looking for trouble." The wind blew stronger now, dust rising around them. Ion slowly stood up, still holding Mira carefully. "Okay," he said quietly. They walked toward the edge of town. Old buildings, broken fences, silence everywhere. Then they reached it, the stable, dark, half collapsed, the door slightly open. Ion stopped. His breathing quickened. "Something's wrong," he whispered. The cowboy stepped forward, hand near his gun. Slowly, he pushed the door open. Creak. Inside, it wasn't empty. 3 men stood there, waiting. One of them smirked. "Well, look who came back." Ion froze. The cowboy stepped in front of him, and in that moment, everything turned dangerous. The stable went silent. Only the wind creaked through the broken wood. The men stepped forward, dirty, armed, confident. "Well," one of them smirked. "Looks like the kid brought help." The cowboy didn't move. "Step away from them," he said calmly. The men laughed. "You don't know where you're standing, cowboy," another said. Ion gripped Mira tighter behind him. The cowboy's eyes scanned the place, then stopped. Bags, sacks of grain, food, hidden in the shadows. His jaw clenched. "You stole from the town," he said. The leader shrugged. "People don't protect what's theirs," he said. "So we take it." The cowboy stepped forward. "And starve kids in the process?" The man smirked again. "We don't care who eats." Silence. Then the cowboy's voice dropped. "I do." The tension snapped. The leader's hand moved toward his gun. Big mistake. High voltage draw. Bang. The shot echoed. The man's gun flew out of his hand. The other 2 froze. Didn't move. Didn't dare. The cowboy stood steady, unshaken. "Next one who moves," he said quietly, "won't be so lucky." The men slowly raised their hands. Fear replacing arrogance. For the first time, they weren't in control. The cowboy turned slightly. "Ion," he said. "Yes?" "Go get people." Ion hesitated. "They won't come." The cowboy looked at him. "They will," he said. "This time." Ion nodded and ran. The cowboy turned back to the men, gun still steady. "Your time's up." But deep down, he knew something. This wasn't over yet. The stable door creaked open, and this time, people walked in. Not 1, not 2, almost the whole town. Ion stood at the front, breathing fast. "I told you," he said, pointing at the sacks. "They hit everything here." Murmurs spread. Shock, anger, guilt. One man stepped forward, touching a grain sack. "This belongs to us," he whispered. The cowboy stepped aside, letting everyone see, letting the truth speak. The 3 men stood tied in the corner, silent now, no power left. A woman stepped forward, tears in her eyes. "We were hungry," she said, "and we thought there was nothing left." Ion's voice broke. "You just didn't look." Silence fell, heavy, because it was true. They didn't help. They didn't ask. They just looked away. The cowboy finally spoke. "Fear makes people blind," he said, "but truth opens eyes." No one argued, because deep down, they all knew they had failed. But now, they had a chance to fix it. The town gathered the food, shared it, together, for the first time in days. Hope returned. Night fell softly over the town. But this night felt different, warmer, safer. A small fire burned near the stable. People sat together, sharing food. No fear, no silence. Ion sat quietly, holding Mira in his arms. The cowboy walked over, holding a piece of fresh bread, still warm. He knelt beside them. "Wake her," he said gently. Ion hesitated. Then slowly, he touched her shoulder. "Mira," he whispered. Her eyes fluttered open. "Weak but alive." "Bye," she said softly. Ion smiled, tears falling. "It's okay now," he said. "You can eat." The cowboy held out the bread. Mira looked at it like she didn't believe it was real. Then slowly, she took it, her hand shaking, and took a small bite. Silence. Everyone watched, because in that moment, it wasn't just food. It was hope. It was survival. It was everything. The cowboy looked away slightly, because something in his chest felt heavy, but good. Ion stood beside him later. "Why did you help us?" he asked. The cowboy looked at the fire, then at the town. "Because someone had to," he said. Ion nodded. For the first time, he wasn't scared. Sometimes saving one life can wake up an entire town. Red Heart,